Tyvis, I asked you to do a little homework, and I asked you yesterday before the show, is it possible to make the case that Grant Delpit is playing better than any other safety in football through the first 4 weeks of the season? And I do think there is some numbers to pull up here that could help make that case. So as our resident safety, our former professional defensive back on UCSS, am I crazy for asking that question, or is there some validity to how well Grant Delpit's been playing this season?
There is a lot of validity to it, actually. You know, when you think about the safety position, when you think about Delpit as a whole and what he was last year, he had us some glimpse, and a lot of people was all like, okay, this guy, we can see it there. It's a contract year for this guy, so he has to come out and earn his money. And to be honest with you, he is playing like the best safety in the NFL. Why do I say that? Because at the safety position, as you know, it's not what it used to be. Back in the day, you had a post safety and you had a box safety. And the box safety was the guy who was kind of an extra linebacker, essentially, but he could actually cover a little bit. Delpit has been asked to do blitzing. He's been asked to cover. He's been asked to be in zone, and he tackles really well. And what I like about him is I think he's tied third in the NFL with 1 pick. I think the most is 2 or 3 as a safety right now. I think Jessie Bates probably got the league right now. But to be in that conversation and be a guy that week 1 he had to go up against T. Higgins, and he stopped T. Higgins from – I don't think T. Higgins caught a ball, right? Stop T. Higgins. So now you're going up against not just your 3rd or 4th best receiver or a tight end. You're going up against actual wide receivers and shutting them down. That's very impressive. You're going up against tight ends, doing a great job against them. When you go out there on the field, you making plays, making that interception that he had against Pittsburgh. The way he just commanded that defense, got everybody on the same page and robbed something like that, shows that he's really taking the next step forward. And he's really become a pretty good, solid tackler. He doesn't miss a lot of tackles at all, and that's the name of the game at safety. That's something that you cannot say about every safety in the National Football League, because a lot of the ones that get the interceptions are just post safeties, but a guy that's in the box that don't miss a lot of tackles, I mean, he's essentially playing like a linebacker. So for me, he's earned his money. He got to do it for 13 more weeks. But the way he's trending right now, he is playing as one of the best safeties in the game right now, because there's no weak link with him.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he cannot do. He's blitzing. He's getting home. I think he has a sack on this season. He's got a pick. He's tackling. He's covering wide receiver. He's covering tight ends. I mean, what more you want the guy to do, coach?
All right. Grant Delpit, guys, has been fantastic. He has played like one of the better safeties in the league. But there is literally no argument for him being the best safety in the league so far this year. Jessie Bates has a higher overall PFF grade, has a higher run defense pass grade, has a higher pass defense pass grade, has more interceptions, has more forced fumbles, has more passes defended, and has more tackles. So what has Grant Delpit done better than Jessie Bates?
Well, here's the thing with Bates. Here's the thing with Bates. When you look at the coverage stats specifically, and Tyvis, this is what you call an alley and a oop. Grant Delpit has played 53 fewer coverage snaps than Jessie Bates. If you go to the average stat per snap calculations, Grant Delpit has been more productive than Jessie Bates has this season.
That's an absurd comment. You're going to penalize Jessie Bates for doing something a lot more?
No, I'm gonna give Grant Delpit credit for having fewer opportunities to create plays, because through the first 4 weeks of the season, no team has allowed fewer first down than the Browns. No team's allowed fewer yards than the Browns.
But those are not arguments for Grant Delpit. That's arguments for the Browns' defense being better than the Falcons, which we all agree with.
It's fewer opportunities for Grant Delpit.
What?
It's fewer opportunities for Grant Delpit because the defense has been so good.
You can only get what you presented.
Jessie Bates has forced 5 turnovers. Grant Delpit's forced 1 turnover.
How many opportunities has he had?
53 more coverage snaps than Grant Delpit.
Yeah, but that's including running plays, because
those are coverage snaps.
But I'm
coverage snaps.
You're not listening. I said he's forced 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Okay, so that includes run plays as well.
Well, I'm saying as far as 53 more snaps, if you
can't. Your argument for Delpit can't be he's better because he's had less opportunity. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, Deion Sanders didn't get a lot of opportunity either.
Richard Sherman didn't get a lot of opportunity.
I mean, there's some guys that you recognize on the tape as just jumping out, and your game plan is don't throw it to him. Don't throw it to his side.
Well, those are corners. He's a safety.
I know, but it can also figure into safety.
There's no corner.
I wouldn't think that you would do that because he hasn't been a ball hawk.
Is Jessie Bates checking wide receivers? too?
I have no idea.
Oh,
He's a post safety.
I'm not paying
Oh, well,
Yeah, he is.
he's a post safety.
But
Like,
here's the
come
thing.
on.
I think Sam said this yesterday. Safety may be the hardest position to grade and year to year
Post
to
safety
carry over success.
It's a silly. In the end, they're both very
They're
good.
both very good.
But
and
as
hard
you
to
know,
quantify.
if you asked every team in the NFL,
They take Jessie
they'd
Bates.
all take Jessie.
Well, I mean, he's
and
done
there's
it.
no debate.
Well, Jessie Bates has done it literally
Yes.
for like 4 years.
I think this is his 6th year.
I'm saying he's been really
At the
good
top.
for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Nobody's taking
But
Jessie.
my biggest argument with the two is one only plays in the post and the other one does literally everything.
Well, the guy who doesn't do everything has forced fumbles, does he not? And a better run grade.
So
he's-
out of the post. That's all you.
it
What you
easy?
got to do out of the post is get the thing down.
Ty, to answer your question, Jessie Bates has been targeted 6 times and allowed 4 receptions. Grant Delpit has been targeted 9 times and allowed 4 receptions. Jessie Bates has allowed more yards in coverage than Grant Delpit.
Like that man is checking wide receivers. Like that's big.
That's 3 more targets.
All I'm saying is they trust Delpit as a DB so much that they can
Right.
say, go check T. Higgins. Jessie Bates ain't doing that.
It's 3 plays. So
I don't care if it was 1. That's a big mismatch. Usually if a quarterback see my guy and he's got a safety on him, right
The
now.
bottom line is who's the better safety right now? Bates.
Delpit.
No, stop it.
Delpit.
Come on now.
He does.
You're out-
He does more.
you're out of pocket.
He does more. What?
Cap.
Does he not do more? Am I
Cap.
tripping?
On this particular one, I'm going to go with someone that's played the position.
Yeah.
It's
And-
Jessie Bates, man.
You know a lot more what to look for than I do.
Delpit's been excellent.
For, like talking about the best safety in the league, we've probably seen 12 this year.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? We've seen 12.
Total safeties.
Yeah, like
We've seen
yeah,
ours.
right.
We've seen the Ravens. You know, we
I haven't really watched Jessie Bates. I'm just going based on the numbers.
Yeah, right.
And
I know.
Bates has got him on the numbers. I'm not watching the film.
And it's very hard to like how do you quantify with DBs? It's like, especially when you don't know what the coverage is and they not really like when you see Troy Polamalu, you know that's okay. When you see Ed Reed, you be like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
Ed Reed. Like, oh,
I
Ronnie
don't
Lott.
think I don't think Jesse Bates is one of those guys.
No.
those
Jesse
are
Bates has
generational
always been a
players.
very good, not
Right.
elite safety.
Yeah.
He's off to a great start. Grant Delpit may be heading in that direction too. We all love the way he's playing. In the end, whether he's the first, second, third, or fourth best safety doesn't really matter.
Because the guys you name are generational Hall of
Yeah.
Fame
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
At that position, you don't usually have that kind of impact.
not a lot of guys like
unless
that.
you're Troy Polamalu or an Ed Reed. Then you have that kind of
By the
impact.
way, just
So,
based,
yeah.
I don't know how much of the film you've watched on him, G. Based on the PFF grades, Juan Thornhill has not played very well. Richard Sherman is calling Tyvis right now.
Pick it up, bro.
He must have
No,
heard.
Tyvis,
is he
don't
listening
answer.
to the
'cause
conversation?
Isn't that FCC issue if you?
We don't have a broadcast license.
Oh, true. Yeah, Tyvis.
You're not going to hear him on air.
You want me to answer the phone?
Yeah,
Answer the phone.
Come on.
Answer the damn
Is
phone.
Richard Sherman listening to the show right now?
No, he's not listening to the show.
Why is he a hater?
Sure, I am live on the Cleveland show right now, and the cameras is looking at me talk to you right now.
So watch
Who's
yourself.
better? Ask him. Jesse Bates or Grant Delpit?
Oh, he just got off the air with Skip.
he said, wait a minute, say that again, sure. He said,
Oh,
he said that
I heard that.
Stefanski cannot call Deshaun Watson out like that. That's bad for business.
yeah.
All right, Sean.
If Richard Sherman ever wants to come on, open invite.
Come on,
for
He
Richard
just
Sherman.
did.
We can't pay him enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Now that
might
he's rolling
be-
with Skip,
I heard him ripping Stefanski though.
Yeah, his bag.
we'll talk about that offline. We
Stefanski
got
screwed that up. Yeah.
we got to get into some
do you want to
super
share
chats real
exactly
quick.
what he said?
That's what he said.
Just said Stefanski can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know
He
why I'm
said,
speaking for
he
you.
said, tell him that Stefanski shouldn't be ripping Deshaun like that. That's bad for business.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Hey man, they
That
better
is
make the
fair.
playoffs.